Story time. The Crazy Werewolf, Chapter 5. Well, basically, where we left off is there was the councilman that tried to have him killed not that long ago started causing trouble, and he ended up put to ass. And then after he put foot to ass, his biological dad shows up, and which you find out that he's a pure blood werewolf, and tells basically demotes him and promotes Jasmine up to become um the head council woman now of the council here. With her new responsibilities and stuff, made everything a heck of a lot more tough on her to get it done. Jasmine is more or less the adopted daughter and the therapist of our main protagonist, um, Lee True Bright. Sorry, I had to look over some of the notes that I made. Um, and yeah, well, basically, some of the things that happened within the next several months, he started training a lot heavily on becoming an alpha, training how to fight properly, using training his like wolf technique, wolf fighting and stuff. He knows he has all these other abilities and stuff too. Um, his father, or his adopted father, Axel, they more or less adopted him, even though he's a grown ass adult this time. But he more or less sees Jasmine and Axel as his sort of mother and father, and they pretty much just took up the role in general. Well, Axel started training him how to fight using his wolf a lot better and not just brute strength everything. And where we're gonna start our story, it's been 3 months since the incident in the city where he had the councilman lost his job. Um, Jack Tar name, I believe. Um, and our he is pretty much studying up under our the new temporary councilwoman until she and our protagonist biological dad shows back up and says, "Hey, I think you can lead us now, or lead this council again." Which this guy is no slouch. He knows what to do, but he also, when he perceives a threat, he does everything in his power to destroy that threat, regardless actually thinking about. More or less, she's got brought in to show him how to be a decent human being instead of just a code calculating or overbearing computer type person. Too logical. All right. Well, Axel reaches out to one of his old friends, um, to bring in a teacher for our protagonist, a magical teacher. Everybody knows at this point he has magical abilities, along with everything else that's going on with him. Well, that's where our story comes back in. Axel calls Lee down to the office or down to the pack house and wants to talk to him for a little bit. He walks in, looks over to see Axel and this other mysterious guy in the, like, more blackish robe with red accent sitting down on a couch. Axel points at our protagonist, tells Lee to sit down on the couch for a little bit. We need to have a little discussion here. Lee does what he's told. Um, what's this all about? And who's this dude here? Dude, I am a I am a mage of the highest order. Magic is my name. Not just some dude. Oh, chill, dude. He puts his hands up. Look, this is cool. Actual stuff. It's like, dude, Lee, please don't call him dude. He is. He's one of the best magical teachers I know, and me and him has been friends since childhood, pretty much. And I called in a really old favor for him to actually get your magical abilities under control. Under control? What do you mean? I don't really use them that often. There's been more than once where you've accidentally turned Main Street into a field of trees. So don't give me that shit. That was only like once or twice. Actually, you need training, and I'm not going to stop training you myself either. Um, so, but you need to learn how to properly manage your abilities, or it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. Really need it. Just like we're working on controlling your other abilities as well. When it comes to you being a werewolf, you being both, it's kind of unheard of in this part, or ever. Not many hybrids make it out of their use. You, there's so much more than meets the eye when it comes to you. It's not even funny. I know, especially how you can change shapes, or your not change shapes more or less, but you have three different forms. You have like your Wolfman type form. It looks like a glorified old, like, two Dungeon Dragon Cobalt, but meaner and more fine green. Then your second form is a big wolf, and your third form is a gigantic wolf. All having ranging abilities and being able to do different things. Most of us only learn how to do a first of yours transformations long after we become a wolf for over 100 years or better. You are under 20. And I believe it's a lot to do with your, don't get me wrong, but we still need to keep working throughout. We need to start concentrating. And if we do that, we need to actually start upgrading all facets of who make you special instead of just your wolf part. Because, like the yin yang, if you allow one side to take too much, things start going ape shit and chaos on the. Okay, yeah, I do kind of agree with you. That Lee exclaimed. So, how do we start all this magical training? First, I'm we're gonna cast a few spells on you to see exactly what your magical traits are, where your abilities lie, and everything. Well, okay. So follow me into this spare bedroom that we cleared out, especially for all this. He jumps up on the tippy toes of, okay, let's go, dude. Stop calling me dude. My name, Mesa. Wait, Mesa, Mage. Your actual name is Mesa. Well, dude, good luck in that. Stop calling me dude, you little. And he starts mumbling under his voice. Uh, they all finally make it into the room. Opens like the diagrams that are all over the room. But Maisel said, walk to the center of the room and down on the floor, preferably in Indian style. Like, yes, sir. Sits down. Axel says to Lee, really, it does have some. Um, he should actually have his respect at least a little bit. He has done a lot for me. Fine. Well, so let's get going with this. He walks over and puts a ball down in his hands. I want you to hold this just like this. He puts both of his hands out, holds the ball shortly up to his chest right here, just like so. And it's like, hold it there while I chant my spell and we'll get out to reading. Okay. Just remember there might be a little bit of discomfort and don't fight the energy coming into your body too hardly. Because you'll screw things up. Like, good. And dude starts chanting this chant. The runes and stuff on the ground start appearing to flash in a really red tone. Lee, on the other hand, feels this energy during his chest. I mean, by instinct, he wanted to destroy the energy outright, but then he calmed himself and let the energy pass through him. He could feel it going up towards his brain, down towards his organs. He could feel it covering his entire body. Instinctively, he tried like the Dickens from fighting this energy. Well, she knew he could kick it out of his body at any time, but the energy finally slowly come back out and fall again. This picture or this panel, the ball is pointed out. The guy comes over, lays his hand on the ball, chants another spell, turns around, and goes just like that. This big, looks like this big hologram pops up right in the middle of the room. It says name, day, true bright, race, mystic, werewolf, mage, or mystic werewolf. Then it comes down to occupation, cultivator, mystic, or magi. Cultivator magi. When the guy looked at that, he dropped to his knees like, holy shit. Then went down to some of his stats. Strength, question mark, question mark, question mark, question. All of his stats generally had question marks. All except for his luck stat, which was around 75. Which he looked at that and was like, holy boy, did you fight the tried not to, but yes, I did a little bit, but much as I can expect for an actual mystic um werewolf. Like mystic, yeah, it's super rare and takes more than luck to anyway. But the thing that really stands out is you're, for one, a cultivator. How the hell did you end up doing that with a wolf inside of you? That might have to do with the time I got struck by lightning. That would explain a few things. Why some of your stats ain't showing up. Your Magi cultivator that has Mystic Werewolf, which is most commonly known as Mystic Moonwolf. And they're born every 1,000 years. Alright, let's wait, you have a subclass? Looks down and it's like druid. Huh. That's interesting. Why would cultivator main class, but yet a cultivating magi? And the subclass of that would explain your natural elements so much. Very interesting. Right, let's go through some of this other stuff. Went down to skills. Um, Shape shifting, werewolf skill set. It has four um of them down there. You have, then he looks down and it says um Wolfman, which is basically a hybrid of a human and a werewolf form. You have full wolf, moon, mystic moon wolf, that I think is your big size, and the other wolf is question mark, question mark, question mark, and then down parentheses at the very bottom it says hasn't unlocked, has to do certain things to unlock true form, or your true form of everything. Looks at all the, and then a little bleep comes down. Then the next skill is partial transformation, druid, where he can actually transform like hands and claws or his feet or his legs into different parts of his body he can transform into for different effects, even for concealment if that's what he really. Then it comes back down. It's like druid abilities, channel nature, allows you to channel nature into a wood-like type weapon to create a beam to be able to fight up against. Thorn, use roots and thorns, stuff like that in the area to bind an opponent. And it has several other things like he has basically like a green thumb. He can count things, grow from seed, subdue magical abilities, different things. And there's martial art training level 10. Um, Magi training level 1. Sword training level 3. So all these are going to change in the, so, and stats and stuff is going to be something that's only brought out every once in a while. And has two other abilities that are questioned out. And cultivating that, immortal. Immortal level cultivator? Us without, I don't want to get on your bad side. That's for damn sure. Oh, goes down, and then there was quite a few abilities that were just questioned. Some that had a lock sign on there, and it hasn't came up with the either qualification or not. And then at the very bottom, um, gets a little bit of a headache, and it's like plan, and beside it needs a name. Like plan, not pack. And he scrolls down through it, and it's like normally a werewolf wouldn't create a pack of his own, especially an alpha wolf. Hence, saying not a normal wolf at any stage of the game. He has abilities. He has abilities for multiple different races, and even on top of that, he has multiple classes, which all affect everything. And even on top of that, even he desires to have more than one race to fight for justice. The mage was reading this. So his pack got turned into a clan instead of a pack because and then he has leadership skills and stuff under there, and plus as it starts showing all the werewolves and shows several cultivators. But the thing about it is, it shows like a number of werewolves, and it shows a number of mystic um, werewolves, and it showed cultivators, and showed one human, just normal human, and then has ability slots for multiple other races. As a clan leader, he is able to employ more than just your average pack would, and will be set aside in all forms to create something bigger and better than anything that ever been before. The he becomes more and more interesting every second, and he is meant to be a ruler, but not really wanting to be that, and not really wanting to be a normal pack. He basically transformed everything to become the best he can possibly be, best situation he can possibly be under. Well, so Pat got turned into a plan to grow his clan, be a form of justice in the future. Under his direct wants. The mage just kind of reading. Then very bottom has a skill that has a lock on there, and it states right after, this is a skill he currently has, but has personally locked it away without his own knowledge. And is what it skill is brute domination. This is a skill that allows him to tap into all forms of magic, everything from the darkest, to very holy, divine, from divine, elemental, nature, um, dark magic, and even holy magic, and etc. and etc. As he learns more about his own abilities, he'll gradually feel more comfortable as to be his passive ability to come out and shine majorly. And the last few things were all questioned out. The very last thing on there is called Alpha Aura / Godly Aura. And what he read under there more or less stated that this ability needs no introduction. This is his alpha aura coming out that has both divine attributes plus full nature attributes plus werewolf attributes to create his own dominant effect. And it has under it triple S rating, and then it says level, and then infinite. His eyes went super wide when this ability is as strong as he wants it. This ability won't never fade, but he does need to learn how to control it, or mass damage to make each thought in his head. Alright. And he lets go of the panel and like, what does all this mean? Lee said. It means I have my work cut out for me. And may have some information about your real parents that if you do a good job with me, I will let you know the information. Like, wait, what? I have information on parents or who your possible mother is, very least. But I need you to wait until we get done training. There's a good chance I may end up sending you to her anyway to really train. You're not normal whatsoever. Bring, yeah, our training will begin tomorrow. Be working with me 3.5 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a few hours in the morning, Saturday and Sunday, not a full day. You do still need your other training too, and I believe that's now than ever. First, I'm going to teach of more of the basics, then go into your druid abilities, and start working on the rest of your stuff. He's like, oh, cool. But the basics are something you need to learn. And when I say need, until you literally memorize every single aspect of all the basics, I will not teach you a damn thing. I will not tell you who I am damn near certain who your mother is. I will not do anything until you learn the basics so far inside out that you have to know the basics so much that you could literally say it, understand it, believe it more than any other mage, sorcerer, or any version of any sort of magic user ever. Why is it that important for me and not? He looks at him as like, your abilities amplify everything you do. Magic wise, been able to tap into your druid abilities a lot more than some of your other abilities because it comes naturally. You have to do what we tell you to, because if you don't, you could end up accidentally destroying the planet, if not the whole galaxy that we're in. No joke. You have to learn the basics. No matter what. So this is non-negotiable. Like, sir, yes, sir. Start tomorrow, right? Is there any books that I need to read tonight? Don't want to wait till tomorrow. No, because I generally want, if it's this important for me to be able to control my abilities, I want to start studying a little bit tonight, for at least so we can actually do some practicing tomorrow. The teacher, his friend, and was like, "Oh, goody." So let's let's let's. Okay, I will let you have a book. Pull out a book. It looks like there's a rip in there. He puts his hand in it, grabs two books, brings it out. He's like, "I want you to read these tonight before you go to bed, and I want you to start reading these every night before you go to sleep, especially if you're mentally exhausted." So, yes, sir. Good. Let me go talk to Jack for a little bit and go study, go play, do whatever you need to do. Like, sir, yes, sir. And he walks out the door and then So for the next few months, he's studying nothing but the basics, day in and day out, until he can literally memorize every little piece of information about the basics, about channeling magical abilities correctly, about how to see the flow of nature, how to understand how his cultivation works, even with his magical abilities, because he actually gave him a real copy of A Beginner's Guide to Cultivation, too, which he's way beyond a beginner, but that's a story for another time. Like, yeah, finally learned all the basics. Like, yeah, and that shit was a headache and a half. I'm sorry I was so tough on you about it, but you know exactly why we needed to get this done. Now more than ever, how I was dealing with energy was so wasteful it wasn't even funny, and it was affecting my environment around me like I was some common fae or something. That's not a good thing. I did that where I used to live. Would have been very, very bad. Right. If I tried to cast the wrong thing, that I ended up destroying half the planet without even realizing it, which would end up killing our planet, and we don't need that. You are growing up. Like Sam was like, yeah, little by little, dude. I'm never gonna not hear that again from you. Nope, sure not. Size a little bit. Jasmine comes running into the room like, we have a problem. Everybody looks at Jasmine. Need you to come with us. Pure is demanding, pure werewolf or pure wolf demanding to see you. Pure. Pure blood wolves? Yes. And it's turning very ugly very quick. So please, I mean, no. Like, yes, ma'am. And starts running to town. In the middle of the town, he sees this kid probably no older than 14, 13, 14 years old start ordering a bunch of wolves around like they were nobodies. Even, yeah, looks over there at our main protagonist. Like, you're the only wolf in this that hasn't bowed to the rightful rulers. He looks at him and it's like, they're not my alpha. You say, goes and slaps him across his face. I am no alpha boy. Like, you look like a kid. Slaps him again. Kneel now. It's like, no. What? It was like this trickle of something hitting him. Like, dismisses it nothing because it basically was nothing compared to what he could. I'm not going to bow to you. Why would I bow to you? I am not a part of your pack. Shit. I'm even a leader of a clan instead of a pack. A pack turned clan gives you less authority over. You want me to bow? No, kid. You need to fucking leave. Is what you need to do. I don't have time for this dipsy bullshit. He kid was like, excuse me? Like, I am pure blood. We rule the werewolves. If I tell you to get down in my cock, that means you'll be getting down and doing that. I tell Jasmine over there to take her top off, means you'll do that. If I tell you to start um Axel to start killing some of the werewolves around here, or some of the vampires, or those nasty vampires, or some of the other supernatural creatures. Guess what? Do as I tell you to. Starts putting out, and it felt just a little bit more of a trickle going against him, but like I said, even at full power, it wouldn't feel like nothing compared to what he could do. So, bow now. He looks at him and it's like, with a, I am not going to bow to anybody. I don't care if you're our goddess ourselves herself came down here and tried to force me to bow. Not going to happen. The fact that you're trying to force us to do that, one of the reasons why I never wanted to deal with like pack consequences to begin with. One thing I'm glad that I'm in a clan, not a pack. Clan leader instead of a or clan alpha instead of a straight up pack alpha. Your authority over somebody, in my eyes, is more like slavery with a little bit more free will. He looks at him with the kid looks at him and is like, "I'm submit," and he gets this little grin on his face. Jasmine, come here. I can't make you submit the way. I'll make you submit another way. Axel, come here. Meanwhile, the mage is still sitting at the pack house where they just got done with just the control. He mastered control better than anyone has in history of control because of his vast abilities. But he's never had to train severely angry before, which that will come along here in just a little bit. Like, Axel, kiss my feet. Like, he sees like Axel growling a little bit, trying to stop, but then he comes down. Kid pulls his foot out of his shoe and like kiss my feet, and Axel does as he's told. Then I hate doing this type of shit, he said under his breath. To know who is boss as soon as this kid's hands touched Jasmine, a cold, felt a cold chill going up his face. Axel says, cut your arm with your claw. He looks at the kid, giving you one warning. Boy, says in a guttural tone, half wanting to shift. Do not stop what you're doing. You'll fucking regret it. He's never felt this angry. Not even when he saw all those people being torn up against their will to do. And he found the pack of rogues. Fury let my mom and dad go. Kid starts laughing. I know they're not my biological or my family, and if you do not let them go soon, you will regret it. Starts saying in a guttural voice, ripples of anger pressing down on him. Like he's never felt a challenge like this before. And then he's like, submit? And I'll stop. I hate doing this disgusting shit. But until you submit, I will Jasmine right here and right now. And it's like soon, and then he went to actually grab her again. The next thing he heard was snap. Like his mind going from the snap kind of from. And he looked around. Like, why am I flying? And then in the air, Bucky wipes his face and it's like, ah. And then he hits what he feels like to be a bank vault with 20-inch steel titanium. Which basically what happened, going back a few seconds, is main protagonist zipped out in front of him, kicked him dead in the chest, cracking his ribs. And then before he could hit a building, he flew back behind him and kicked him again, grabbing his head right after he kicked him, pulling him back, slamming his face to the concrete. Anger still rolling off of his voice. You will do not touch my mother, said in a really, really dark tone. He was wanting to rip this kid into fucking red. Lee stood up, looking down. The kid finally got back up. Everybody in my voice, his power started spreading out. Attack this dog. Jasmine Axel was first to hit him. Couldn't move a single step. And then the next thing that happened in a flash. All you could feel is so much rage. And he did the one thing he never wanted to. Next thing is this energy pressing down on everyone in the city. Looking down at, he says, submit or die. Looking directly, boy, so much, his mind was so muddled with anger. He wanted to rip this boy apart, had him by his throat without even thinking about it, beating the fuck out of him. He looks at dead in its eyes. Submit or die. Every ounce of anger and hate coming down inside, looking down with such a fury. When the boy finally hit the ground, he starts crying immediately before he could stops and bows his head with his neck exposed. Yes, my alpha. But that his anger started to dissipate. He yelled out for somebody, someone with healing abilities, come and heal Axel without even thinking about it in the background, not knowing what he did. He had every healer in the city healing Axel without, looks down at the kid and kicks him up, picks him up by his shirt. Like, I submit my alpha. The tears rolling down his face. Boy in so much pain. He could barely. Pure blood. Pure blood thinks back. He was treated as royalty in our life, especially by these regular werewolves. Even back when he was in the pure pack of pure wolves, he just smiled with joy because he always got whatever he wants. He was basically the number two and number three most powerful wolves from their pure werewolves in the world got together to create him and basically did the deed. They weren't mates, but the power still stopped because of the power level of both of the creatures. And yes, mates is still a big thing in this universe. And later on down the road, there will be um, some, you know, stuff going on that Like, keep in mind, because of his power and because of him being a true hybrid, he will actually have more than one mate. Whether they accept or deny him, only time will tell. But anyway, back to present. He screams out in pure anger, sounding like a demonic howl before he remembers a technique that Axel showed him to calm down. Starts actually calming down to see what done. His eyes went wide when every being in this city were on their knees. He forcibly submitted everybody in the city. Hey, the wolves, every regular animal, every cat, every dog, vampires, werewolves, fae, um, and a bunch of other supernatural creatures. Everybody submitted to him. He cried, "What have I done?" Dropped to anger boiling up inside of him. I believe I've done this. Looks over even his adopted parents. The only thing he knew what to do. He got up, looked at your werewolf, looked down at him like, your job from now on is to protect this city at all cost. At all cost. What is your name? Zach. Zach, Zach Pure. Which Pure is a title of the highest level wolf. So it's basically just Zach now. You will protect the city at all cost. You will protect everybody in the city from now on till I say otherwise. And he yells, feeling the pressure down, and he basically done the same thing that made everyone submit again. He yells out again, everybody, you have 100% free will. Do like you normally do. Act like you normally act. You have 100% free will. And the command faded. One other thing he said before he let go of what he done. And he says, I'm sorry. I am truly, truly sorry. And he says one other thing, whisper, in a second. On Pack House was just outside of the rain, so he hasn't really, the teacher hasn't really known what's actually going on yet. Before he left, though, he whispered in Jasmine and Alex's ears, "Sorry, but I have to go. If I stay here, everybody will do exactly what I say without question, including you guys. You guys are my anchor. You guys were every convinced me that I wasn't as crazy as I thought. I hated that fucking pure blood. Zach must say, but a greater humiliation will happen both. I will never, I may never see me until I learn how to break the cultivation or break the power I have hold over this entire city. Feel tears rushing up their heads. On. Stop by the boy. Zach will protect the city at all costs and will also protect the civilians in the city, no matter the race, sex, creed, human or supernatural alike. If must also follow every order Jasmine or Axel tells you, because you are now under Alpha Jackson's law. You are a part of his pack. You will be under him. You will also be the protector of this city. Now go tell, get your affairs in order and get back here. Do I make myself clear? Boy, it was on his face. Pours this liquid down his throat. Hits him in his face. Ooh, I want, I want to take every fucking blood in existence for what you guys made me do. But if I let my main instincts go, I would be no better than you. Will do as I told, or will be the one person I never let go for what you made me do. And in a flash, she was gone. And grinned straight up. Next time you see our protagonist, he'll be in Canada, big forest region in Canada. The boy also went back to the pack, which people were worried that he died because his name got people knew that he was no longer part of the pureblood pack. But when he got there, he gathered all of his stuff. He went to the Alpha, which her name, find out in the future. He basically told her, I am no longer an heir to this pack. I am no longer part of this pack. For my crimes, I am set to defend the city. I have no choice in the matter. Been commanded from the highest authorities under the goddess. Oh, maybe even higher than the goddess. I'm not sure. And then he much leaves. Alpha of the pure blood pack. She was fucking furious, and she demanded blood. But she had to be careful, so she sent out her 5 best warriors to track down this mutt that thinks he can control her blood. Till a flash of light, because backstory about the pureblood clans, they serve right under the goddess. And the alpha of Set clans is also the head priestess and can communicate with the goddess. After she done sent out her warriors, she got a revelation in the church. The goddess personally came down and asked for form to tell her, rescind that order. What he I know what he done. I know why he done what he done. Zach was the one in the wrong. Even by if you force him to hate the purebloods even more than he does now, I will abandon the wolves to your own fates. Shit, I may take our old enemy and bring them here. The woman was shaking on the ground. Why must he get away with what he's done? No, what? Shut up. I've never talked to you cruelly. But before you do something, that wolf has the ability to climb higher than even me. Even at this moment in time, I would say he's a demigod in his own right. A demigod that's more powerful than half of any god I've ever met. He is vital for the future of this world. But if you bring him against us, you and me credit for all eternity. Why? Because I've already told you. Talk to him yourself. get to know him yourself, will not regret it. But I will not tolerate any wolf from werewolf, pure wolves, lichens to be to harm that man. Do understand? Yes, my goddess. I am sorry to be this cruel, but I know the fate of this world if it turns against supernaturals, or even if he half turns on just the wolves. I know the fate. And I know you are angry. Funny thing is, you're angry the exact same was. She vanishes. Statement was supposed to be the next head after me. Bred him with the right people to make him the strongest out of everybody. Was like a son to me. And this is pretty much where I'm going to be cutting it for now. Sorry about the hour and 17 mark. So, if you like the story, press like. If you want more of the story, for like every 5 likes, I will do the story as soon as like possible instead of just waiting. So there's that. So have fun. Be awesome. Thank you for sticking around this long. And let me know if you enjoy the story. More than anything, even feedback. Be nice. Just don't be an ass. But I any feedback about the story, anything that you may want to happen in the future. Discussions are always available for me. And if you plant something in my head, it may happen. But peace.